Guys, this is Jacob, and here's my review for Kong Skull Island, and this is a rental review because obviously it's on Redbox now. So Kong Skull Island is a tale of two movies. There is a monster movie, and there's also some people in the movie. I want to call them characters because, we'll go negatives first. The people part of the movie sucks. The only good characters are Samuel L. Jackson's character and John C. Reilly's character, and I don't remember their names, but they're the only interesting people, but mainly because of the actors playing them, not so much the actual characters. Because Samuel L. Jackson's just a typical warrior who's just not able to live outside of his soldierly duties. He's got to be in the fight, he's got to be in charge, he's got to prove that he's in charge, and that's all well and fine, but we've seen that a million times. But Samuel L. Jackson, he makes it cool. John C. Reilly is a guy who's been stuck on the island for a while, and he's kind of crazy, but he's got more personality and more development than pretty much every other character in the movie. Tom Hiddleston is okay as an adventurer type, but the thing is, there's nothing for him to play. He's just an adventurer, and there's like one scene in the movie that tries to give him something more, but it's never touched on again, and it just comes out of left field, and it's like, feels like they just added a character moment to try to be like, oh, he is a character. We did develop him. He's not just there to be a nice face. And Brie Larson is in this movie, and she was also playing a photographer, and she also did nothing with her role. There's nothing to do much, really. It's not a very interesting character. She's just there taking pictures and smiling in montages, and that's pretty much the majority of what she does in this movie. Everyone else there is just disposable, to be just there to be killed or to say some cliche thing like that. This thing where one of the soldiers is writing to his son, and it's like he keeps writing to him, and everyone says "Dear Billy," and they say like "Dear Billy" like 4 or 5 times. It's like by the 4th or 5th time, you're like, it's not as sweet anymore. It's just kind of cheesy. And the screenplay, just in general, was a total mess, and that's because part of the screenplay was written by one of the guys who helped write Godzilla, the 2014 movie. And it definitely shows because he can't handle the characters in that movie, he can't handle them in this movie, and the other screenwriters that contributed did not handle them well either. And the editing is awful in this movie. There are scenes that just cut off randomly, and it feels like they didn't even make a point with the dialogue. It feels like they just end the scene suddenly. And on the one hand, that's terrible because you're like, what was the point of that scene? On the other hand, if the scene had gone for 5 more minutes, I'm not sure it would have made a better point because there's just nothing else to this movie in depth or drama or anything, and all the attempts at humor fall flat. All the attempts at emotions, like just depth or anything, fall completely flat. Nothing works, and that's due to poor direction. Jordan, I don't know how you say his middle name, Vogt Roberts, he did not know how to handle these characters. He did not know how to handle this world as far as making us feel like we care about the people in it. Now, that being said, he does deserve some credit because there is a part of this movie that does work, and that is the monster movie part. The monster scenes are awesome. It's very apparent when you're watching the first 30 minutes. You go, this is boring, I don't care about anybody. And then all of a sudden Kong comes onto the screen for the first time, and it's like, oh my gosh! And he destroys stuff, and it's great, and he fights monsters that are different than the ones he fought before, and there's references to the King Kong, Peter Jackson, over 3-hour version and the classic version, and there's some pretty awesome fight scenes in this movie, and especially the final battle that Kong has is breathtaking, and the visual effects for Kong that create him are awesome. They're great. He's not given as much to do as far as a character, but they do show like that he's not just a monster. They show him as an animal, they show him as protecting his territory, and they establish this mythos with him that's very interesting. I like the world building that they do in this movie that ties into Godzilla, because this is setting up a King Kong versus Godzilla movie in the future, and also Godzilla 2, which comes before that. And it does a really good job of getting you interested in these monsters and just thinking that, man, this is a cool universe of monsters, and it's a cool idea to have the monsters that have been here before humanity, and that's just an interesting idea, I thought. And I really did enjoy pretty much just every scene with the monsters, and Jordan, however you say his middle name, Roberts, did a great job of directing every single action scene. I mean, like, the action scenes, they look amazing. There are scenes where the only thing is there's no suspense with the humans because you don't care about them. But you do invest in Kong, and you do invest in this world, just not the humans. And there are cool moments, there's entertaining moments, and this movie as a whole it's a really a mixed bag. I have to give it a 2.5 out of 5 because the monster movie part of this movie excelled. It was what I wanted it to be. In fact, some of the monster movie moments were as good as, if not better than, the Godzilla 2014 movie, which was a 3 out of 5 kind of wishy-washy movie. And but the human parts are even worse than the scenes in Godzilla because the dialogue is atrocious, the editing is terrible, and there's just no depth, and it felt rushed. But there were entertaining moments, and I think if you love monster movies and B movies, you'll love this movie. But if you're looking for any kind of character development or appreciate good screenwriting in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna hate the humans in this movie a lot and wish that the screenplay had been done better. So as a whole, this movie is a so-so movie. I'd recommend it only as a rental and just to try it out, just to see the Kong scenes. I'd mostly, if I rewatched it again, I'd fast forward through all the humans talking. And so that's my review for this movie. Did you enjoy it? Do you want me to do more rental reviews? Let me know in the comment section below. Hope y'all are doing well. Just comment and let me know what you think about this and what you'd like to see me do in the future. Thank you.